Hello Physical Fiends, it is Jordan here with some just announced physical releases. These are games that have been recently announced, they are not releasing this week. And as always, I do not list limited game stuff since they are always covered in Monday's video, and there's no point repeating myself. So let's take a look at what has recently been announced. Memoire Revelations in Celceta is getting a physical release on Nintendo Switch next year. This has been out in Japan for a while now, but not in English, so this is a welcome addition to the East library on Nintendo's portable system. Many East fans say that this is the worst game in the series, but there's a really high standard, and one game has to be the bottom. But I don't know for sure, I've never played it myself. In North America, it's coming in a Day 1 edition, which comes with a 2-disc soundtrack, a diorama set, poster, and art cards. S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 Heart of Chornobyl is releasing on PlayStation 5 at the end of November. This was an Xbox exclusive for a year, and this long-awaited sequel didn't hit quite as hard as the previous entries, but you can still get a really unique time from it. An FPS oozing with atmosphere. The box art does mention a download required, but I'm hoping that's just the multiplayer that's going to be added post-launch. Rooftops and Alleys, the Dual Pack Edition, is a confusingly titled package releasing in the middle of November. I thought it was a double pack of a game called Rooftops and a game called Alleys, but no, I'm an idiot. The game is called Rooftops and Alleys, and you get 2 copies of it in one package, 1 cartridge, and 1 download code to give to a friend. That is kinda genius. And it's not even a multiplayer only game, you can play this by yourself if you want to. Yooka-Replaylee is big news because this game, this remake of Yooka-Laylee, is getting a physical release on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and, most importantly, Nintendo Switch 2. Yes, a proper cartridge, supposedly at much sacrifice for the publisher, especially since it has price parity with the other versions. They are probably not going to be making that much money from it, but hey, it's something that should be supported, so go and support them. Supposedly this remake has double the content of the original, and it looks like it's going to be the best way to play it, and I can't wait to do so. And if you want to pre-order this or any of the games in this video, then please consider using the links I put in the description and pinned comment. Any purchase made via those links massively helps support me and this channel in the best way possible. I do truly thank you ever so much, and you can get free worldwide shipping from VGP on orders over 75 Canadian dollars, about 54 American bucks, not that much. Snoopy and the Great Mystery Club is releasing on Switch, Xbox, and PlayStation 5 on October the 10th. It's published by Game Mill, so don't have any hope of it being actually interesting. The game looks like a mini-game special, loads of different gameplay styles as you play as Snoopy and those other people. Harvest Moon Home Sweet Home is releasing physically on Switch and PlayStation 5 on October the 31st, like pretty much every other game on the planet. What is it with October the 31st? Well, this is a port of a mobile game from last year, and it does look a little rough around the edges, especially compared to the recently released Grand Bazaar, the Story of Seasons game, which is fantastic. This pales in comparison. Starlight Legacy is getting a physical release in Europe via Funbox. It is a Funbox physical of an East Asia soft game that's not got nuddy in it. It's just a love letter to classic 16-bit JRPGs with a solid 8-hour story, some decently authentic looking visuals, and I'm feeling pretty good about this one. It's going to be on Switch and PlayStation 5. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. What? When did this happen? I don't know, but it's releasing on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X on October the 21st. I mean, look, if there was one game that should release on the 31st, it's this one, but they're just too cool for that. Will this live up to the hype of the original game? It is doubtful, but it could be a good one. I believe there are or were plans for an Xbox One and PlayStation 4 edition of this game, but I don't know if they are from ancient times and things have moved on. I don't know if they're cancelled or what. BOBBLE Sugar Dungeons is releasing on Switch and PlayStation 5 on November the 27th. It is a roguelike adventure platformer where dungeons change every time you go in, and it obviously retains the usual Bubble style gameplay, but you collect treasure which then boosts your abilities for next time. A standard gameplay loop that could be good, although the sugary sweet visuals may burn your eyes out after a while. STARBITES is releasing physically on Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 5. Sadly, there is also a Nintendo Switch 2 Game Key. Boo! This is a turn-based RPG with mechs. The characters are a bit too Overwatchy for my liking, but the gameplay looks like a usual solid turn-based NIS America RPG. Five Nights at Freddy's: Secret of the Mimic. How many of these games are there? This one's made by the same people as Security Breach, and this is supposed to be another solid entry in the never-ending franchise. This thing's gonna have more lore than the Star Wars expanded universe soon. It's releasing physically on PS5 on, you guessed it, October the 31st. Hello Kitty and Friends: Freeze Tag Party is releasing on the Nintendo Switch November the 6th. It is a game of tag with a $35 price tag. I mean, I would not buy this for my daughter even if she wanted it. It looks like that Obake-Doro game, but much cheaper. SpongeBob SquarePants Titans of the Tide is releasing on November the 18th for Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5. There is a Nintendo Switch 2 game key. Boo! Here you switch between SpongeBob and Patrick and do some platforming. It actually looks alright. I might be interested in it if I could actually stand the characters without wanting to punch somebody. Hot Wheels Let's Race Ultimate Speed is releasing physically on Switch, Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 on October the 24th. I know some previous Hot Wheels games of this generation have been surprisingly competent, however this one is published by Game Mill, so the quality probably won't be the same. Fast and Furious Arcade Edition. Okay, so this is also by Game Mill, but I'm slightly more optimistic about it since, as far as I'm aware, this is the Raw Thrills arcade game ported to consoles. The ones who did a great job with the Cruising franchise. I could be wrong on this, but I'll be sure to give it a shot when it releases, also on October 24th on Switch, PS5, and Xbox. Corpse Party Tetralogy Pack is releasing in North America on October 28th. Yeah, they decided to announce this just a couple of weeks after the Japanese release. Exceed. I like you guys, but this was dumb, because this quad pack has been one of the biggest selling imports of the year. It's almost like they were shocked by the demand and then quickly threw this together. At least I hope so, because if they planned this for a while in advance, well then they're just idiots. But yeah, this is $50, which is more expensive than the Japanese one. So if you already bought it, if you already imported it, you don't need to worry, you're not missing out. It's just a shame Exceed and their timing are exceedingly bad. Alright, let's take a look at some recent import announcements. These are games that so far only have an Asian or Japanese release with English, unless otherwise stated. But since there's always time, keep in mind, a Western physical could be announced at any point really. And remember, you can pre-order most of these via PlayAsia and get 5% off with my code Jordan2025, or some of them are going to be available at VGP2. I've linked where applicable. And quickly, if you're new here and you enjoy physical video games, do yourself a favor, hit that subscribe button. It will be the best thing you do today, I promise, okay? I'm almost at 30,000 subscribers. Come on. Melon Parker. Shout out to Visipon for bringing this to my attention. I would have definitely missed this otherwise. This looks like an Otome visual novel. Maybe that's releasing on Switch in November, and it should have English. I don't know for sure, but it might only be available via one specific website in Japan called Rabbit Foot. Kind of like that Jumbo Jet mystery game or whatever it is, but it's best to wait and see how this is going to develop. It might be extremely obscure. Hollow Cocoon is releasing in mid-December on Nintendo Switch in both a standard edition as well as a deluxe edition. A first-person horror game set in 80s Japan, people say it has some strong Fatal Frame vibes, and there are multiple endings to extend the experience. If you only play once, it might be a bit short, but most reviews are quite positive for it. It has English, and the deluxe edition has an art book, soundtrack CD, and a keychain. Alright, here we go guys, you ready for this? Crayon Shin-chan, Ora to Hakase no Natsuyusumi, Owaranai Nano-kan no Tabi, and Shiro of Cold Town 2 in one set. Whew. It's basically the Summer Vacation Shin-chan game and Cold Town Shin-chan game in a double pack, releasing in Asian regions, and it should have English, at least the one that I've linked down below. Now, both games were released individually via limited run games in North America, and Europe did get Cold Town at retail, but not Summer Vacation, so it is an interesting prospect if you own neither of them. Cyber Citizen Shockman Collection is getting an Asian release just after releasing in Japan, and it's already out via limited run games. This Asian release is right up my alley. In fact, I ordered it the minute I saw it. It's a nice retro collection of slightly obscure games on the Turbo Graphics and Super CD. Yes, sign me up. They're basically like Mega Man type games, although there's more melee attacking. Probably rough around the edges, but a bit of charm to them. A-Train, all aboard, tourism, Nintendo Switch 2 edition. Yes, I made a community post about this, but yeah, Japan is getting another import exclusive Nintendo Switch 2 game on a proper cartridge. This time it's a train building game. There are 2 of these already out on Switch 1, and I believe like all 3 of these games are the same base game, but with increasingly extra content. And yeah, this seems to like follow suit. It has mouse controls and probably performs a hell of a lot better once things start to get busy. And it will have English, and it's releasing December 18th. And there we have a bunch of new announcements. What is your favorite in this episode? Let me know in the comments below, and your thumbs up. If you want to pre-order any of them, please do so via the links in the description. That is the best way to support me and this channel. I really could do with the support extra specially these days, and I hope you all have a fantastic day. Take care.